Good morning, friends. When you are dealing with somebody that is having some really serious mental health issues, it's really natural to look back over the course of the time you've known them and try to figure out when it happened and what it actually was. The person that I've been talking about that I care about so very much, all I can say is if I had a daughter, this person would be would be that. And I care and love for this person very, very deeply. I learned some things because I do a lot of research on this, and I just want to share a few things and probably do a longer video at another time. But here's a couple things I'd like to share with you, and I'd love, love, love to hear if any of you have had any similar experiences or just what experiences you have had around cannabis. Okay, so coming from Colorado, I try to be pretty chill about it. I don't use it. But here's some things I learned that I want to share with you because looking back over the course of this individual's life, I see a very distinct connection to when weird things started to happen and when they began smoking marijuana, okay, or taking gummies or all of it. I don't know what all people do now. It seems like they treat it like candy. Okay, here's a couple things to consider. Over the past few decades, the THC content in cannabis products has significantly increased. In the 1990s, average THC levels were around 3 to 4%. But today, many cannabis strains contain THC levels that exceed 15%, with some products reaching up to 30% or more. I mean, imagine that. This increase in potency can lead to stronger psychoactive effects and may heighten the risk of adverse mental health outcomes. Now, that may heighten has turned into something else if you go read these studies. I'm going to try to link some of them and maybe some videos, but the actual studies, so you can go read this yourself. Cannabis contains THC, as we know. That interacts with the brain's endocannabinoid system. So, heavy or early use can disrupt normal brain development and function. This can literally lead to psychosis, a condition where individuals lose touch with reality, experiencing hallucinations or delusions. Okay, key point number 2. Researchers analyzed health records from nearly 7 million people, focusing on the association between cannabis use disorder and schizophrenia. They found that up to 30% of schizophrenia cases, listen to that, 30% of schizophrenia cases among young men aged 20 to 30 could be linked to heavy cannabis use. Now, another point is, which is what it is, I guess, the study highlighted gender differences. While both men and women with cannabis use disorder showed an increased risk of developing schizophrenia, the link was notably stronger in young men. This suggests that young men are particularly vulnerable. Now, this study goes on to discuss use at even an younger age that I really encourage you to go read about this. Long term, key point number 3, and this was something that we dealt with this young person. Long term, heavy cannabis use has been linked to a condition called cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, which involves repeated episodes of severe nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. This condition can be particularly distressing, obviously, but you have to stop using in order to heal that, obviously. Okay, impact on teenagers. I was going to referencing this earlier. Research indicates that teenagers who regularly use cannabis are at a higher risk of developing psychosis and schizophrenia later in life. Starting cannabis use during adolescence can lead to an earlier onset of psychotic disorders. Now, these findings underscore the importance of understanding the potential mental health risks associated with heavy cannabis use. As cannabis becomes more accessible, it's crucial to be aware of these risks and make informed decisions. I'd love to know your thoughts and what your experiences have been. I will come back to a more serious and lengthy video, but I just am running out of time today. I just wanted to get this out there. And, cannabis is not innocuous. And the way we casually deal with this is not dissimilar to the way we deal casually with alcohol. As a matter of fact, it's very cool. And yes, has it been proven that cannabis can help with certain medical conditions? I know that it's used medicinally. Well, great. But that does not mean that we are absolved of the responsibility of learning more about it and how it affects our children and our young people. Okay, please share with me, and just remember that people are inspired not by what they know to be accurate, but by what they can believe is possible for them. So let us learn more and let us share what we know, what we learn, sharing the knowledge and the inspiration so that we can give people more agency and joy in their lives. I love you all. Have a beautiful, wonderful day.